Big Law is just that. It's a story about life in one of America's fictitious but largest and most prestigious law firms. The business world grew by leaps and bounds. Businesses became gigantic, multinational. The banks and their derivative trading and private equity. And so as a consequence, these law firms took a page out of the book, in essence, of the corporate world that was their client base, that is their client base, and they grew along with them, so that these firms are now located in more than one city, many of them in most of the major cities in the U.S. and abroad. And I was a part of Big Law in my time in private practice, and I'm a watcher. You know, as I mentioned earlier, in addition to doing my work, I sort of mentally record, I can't help myself, people and cases and things like that. And I thought it would be interesting to write a story about what life is like inside one of these law firms. And the main character is a young partner who, as I like to say, was not to the manor born. He lives in New York. He's a first-generation Irish American. He's got a dad who is a doorman in a posh Upper East Side apartment building, who's also a drunk and mean-spirited. He went to state law school, and he made it. He made partner against all odds. And the chairman of the firm, who is a very complicated, devious, brilliant person, gives this young lawyer, whose name is Carney Blake, what Carney thinks is the case of a lifetime, a case that a young partner would not get without more senior supervision. And of course, it's that case that turns the story into a plot line. And the book starts with Carney and his ne'er-do-well brother. He has a brother who is very much a blue-collar guy, in trouble with the law. And they're sitting in a bar in the Hell's Kitchen area of New York, where he grew up, which back then was a very rough area, but by the time the story takes place, has become gentrified. But he's sitting in the bar midday, and they're waiting on a jury. And Carney, in first-person narrative, says to the reader, "You're thinking I'm sitting here drinking during the day while my client is off somewhere biting his nails, worrying about whether he'll be convicted or not. Well, guess what? I'm the client. I'm the one waiting for a jury." And then we begin the book by going back in time. Well, the culture of law firms has most definitely changed. You know, when I was a young lawyer, law was more of a calling. It was mostly male at the time. There was only one woman in my law school class, so it's kind of a fraternity. Yeah, there was billing of clients and a business aspect to it, but law was a calling, a profession. That certainly, in the world of Big Law, has changed enormously. Big Law is a big business. There's a lot of pressure. You know, there was a time when a lawyer graduated from law school. He may have worked for the government for a while, or she went right into a law firm, and that's where that lawyer would stay for his or her entire career. Once you were there, and you were happy to be there, as hard and difficult as the work was. But as the law firms grew and became such powerful and important aspects of our society, they changed, and there's a lot of movement that, you know, lawyers don't stay. They They leave when they get better offers. They take their clients with them. They take their colleagues with them. And the older lawyers in the profession bemoan that. I think the younger lawyers have just sort of grown up with that. I very much enjoyed my career as a lawyer, and I do respect the law. And I have great faith in juries. You know, as a litigator, I've tried a lot of cases, and more often than not, sometimes despite the mystique of what goes on in a courtroom and the complications of the evidence, the jury more often than not gets it right. And judges more often than not get it right. I mean, there are some judges who are characters, there are some judges who are mean-spirited, there's some judges who are brilliant, and some who are not playing with a full intellectual deck, which makes for great fiction. But by and large, it works. It does work.